Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to Ignite with Sandy, this wonderful webinar that I do every week where I bring to you inspirational women from different walks of life, from different parts of the world. And we are here to inspire you, to make you do things better in your life, because you know what? This is on the Celestial platform, and the Celestial platform is all about work life balance. So, we have a lot of women out there who would like to do some things, but sometimes they're a bit hesitant or they can't manage their time well enough. And I bring on people who are multitasking and are not only successful, but are also relaxed and have time to do other things as well. And my guest today is one such lady. And there are some words that I like to use to describe her. So I'm just going to read out. They all start with P, and her name also starts with P. So it's perseverance, it is patience, it is precision, it is perfection. These are the words that describe my guest today. And she is here to not only fire up your neurons, because that's what we do at Ignite with Sandy, fire up those neurons to take steps to make your life better and more exciting. So, without further ado, as you know, I never introduce my guests myself. I always put them on the spot and ask them to do it. So, I'm going to bring on my charming guest today. Welcome, my dear, to the show. And could you please enlighten our viewers about you?
Hello and namaste. My name is Priya Telavane. I'm founder of 361 Degrees Design Solution, which is a boutique interior design and fit out company. And I'm founder of Dubai Dancing Diva. So I describe myself professionally, I'm an architect and interior designer, and personally, I'm actor and dancer. Well, when I introduce myself, I always feel that this is a complete 100% Priya, who is architect, actor, and dancer. And I love speaking because I feel that when I share my experience with others, they get a lot of guidance and they get that encouragement which they are looking forward in their life. Having said that, let's start with Sandy. Yes.
Yeah. So actually, Priya, I've been wanting to have you on the show for some time, but something or the other is always happening. And the last time that I heard you speak, I made a note and I said, whatever happens, I must get her on the show because you have so many things to talk about. But today, I'd like to start with you telling us about how you started your company, what made you start your company, and what are the challenges that you faced.
So when you start a new business, it's always a roller coaster, and you are never ready. And I wasn't ready too. But when I came to Dubai and I saw, I was working, taking experience, I saw a disparity between the interior designers, what they design, and what the contractors are giving them as a result. So there were a lot of disparity, and to bridge that gap and come up with a solution with concept to completion. 13 years back, I thought of 361 Degrees Design Solutions, and luckily, my husband is also architect and a designer, and he thought that 361 would be the perfect name for this company because 360 is a holistic solution and 1 degree of extra creativity and the service which we provide to the client. And that was the main aim, to give clients something which they don't have to take Panadol. That means they don't want to have a headache when they are actually dreaming for their space with their budget, with their requirements, and with all the approvals. Because Dubai is the city where you have to take care of many approvals, many authorities are involved, and it's the best place to work for sure.
Okay,
Uh,
so when you were talking about your company, one of the things that we had discussed is that you're very conscious about the budgets of the client.
Yeah.
And also you're very conscious about the not wasting stuff and not just adding new things. So what is your USP when you go in to see the interiors? Is it like, okay, now just throw this out and we'll fix this and remove this and we'll do this? How do you go about looking at the stuff, and what kind of a proposal do you give your clients? Is it like throw, 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 new, new, new? What exactly do you do?
So I will actually introduce a word called sustainability. And sustainability, when we say that, we try to see that how much we can utilize the current space in terms of what they have, or if it's a shell and core, then what is the environment over there? What is overall services which are available? So what we try to see is we guide client first, that how the process is going to be. We understand their requirement, and it is due to our experience for past 20 years. Don't guess my age, but 20 years in the field, and I have been working, I think, 6 to 8 countries in the world. So that actually gave me a lot of confidence that what exactly I'm going to give client as a finished product. Because in Dubai we have so many nationalities, and the beauty of this is everybody have a different expectation. They have a different upbringing. Their views are different, their budgets are different, and the way they think is completely different. So you have to go in the skin of client and be there in their shoes and see that how they are visualizing their dream space. And that actually gives me, I can say, a lot of clientele which are repetitive because they love the way we work. So we guide them, then we tell them that this is how the process will be. What are the difficulties? What are the challenges? Because nobody will talk about the challenges. Everybody will say that, okay, I'm going to make your space beautiful, and then you're going to have something which is super gorgeous, and people will say that, oh, wow, who has done this work? But our aim is not to go and barge in and say that, okay, use the best and expensive materials and this is what we are going to give you as an end product. But no, with your budget, and we do value engineering with the 3D visuals or the concept which we create for the client. And value engineering always helps us to reduce the cost, to get the budget, or we try and see how we can match that. And not only that, after we do the project, we handheld, I mean, I can say that we are there with the client for 6 months just to see that whether they are doing good in that space, they have any more problems there or issues. So we try and help client to get out of those issues. So that actually is a win-win for us, to be there, help them, and create a dream space. It's not only we just take the money and we said, oh, this is a design and this is what we are going to give you. No, because that's how the others are working, but we live up to our word. And if we say it's going to be done in 30 days, it will be 30 days. If it's 45 days, it will be 45 days. I'm very strict on the timelines, and I'm very, very strict on whatever we confirm or we say to the client. And that's why, as you correctly mentioned, that I like perfection in whatever we do. And that actually gives us a lot of I can say applauses or good words from the client, the testimonial. And this is what you need, right, for the business.
Quite true, quite true. I think it's very important for people to understand that, yes, okay, we are planning to do something, we are planning to upgrade or remodel or whatever, but the person who is going to do that for us should sort of be in our shoes so that they can visualize, but more important, what can be delivered in a budget. I think that's a very important aspect that you look into. So I just wanted to ask you that during COVID, because yours is a business where you need to be physically present, you can't do things remote, right? You have to be present. So when COVID happened and you had a lot of projects, obviously, that were still, going in the middle of them, I think. What was it that you did? Did you just shut down and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but when we get the green light, we'll go." So, but what did you do? Did you do something different?
Yeah, definitely. Because whenever I get a very difficult situation in life, that actually pushes me and show me that what I can capable of. And when everything closed and there were few projects which of course cancelled, and there were, I think, two projects which were residential, and why client hired us because they love working with us on the commercial projects. So they said that you would be the perfect people to work with for the residential. And this is how I was working. And this client of mine was a very dear friend. And she said, "You know what, Priya? If you close this work, I have no place to stay after 3 months." And that actually moved me. And I said, "No, no, no, I cannot give the word and take it back, though there is a COVID and there is a lockdown. So the police were giving special permissions, depending on how you explain them the situation. And I was very good in convincing them, so we got special permission. I used to dress like an astronaut every day, go out, do my work, take all the precautions, come home, have a bath. And that was my ritual. So not a single day during the lockdown I was resting, or I was saying that, "Oh no, my God, now what I'm gonna do." In fact, I got more energy. No, I have to do something. What if the world ends after 2 months or 3 months? I don't want to die with this feeling that, "Oh my God, I didn't do this." And for your surprise, me and my husband and my son, we used to exercise every day for 1 hour in the garden, in our garden. And what I actually started doing is I started making dance videos of my dances, which I have performed, when I was young, when I was a kid. I just remembered all of them, and I started making videos to show my son that how I used to dance and what steps I used to do. And then I started putting it on social media, and that was such a big hit. Everybody was asking us, is like, "Oh my God, you people are such an inspiration. You're exercising, you're doing dancing, it's making us happy, it's making us laugh, it's making us do something, move something, and we forget the stress which we have due to COVID." So actually, that period was just enlightening for me.
Yes, quite true, actually, Priya, because at that time, a lot of people were getting depressed and they just didn't know what to do. And they started looking at this, being indoors all the time, not being allowed to go out as a restriction. And very few people are self starters like to find something to keep them busy or to use their energy. And when you did that, it became quite a hit. So, talking about dancing, and you said you were telling your son about what you used to do. I want you to travel back in time to when you were a little girl and tell us, share with us what it is you used to do when you used to watch dancing on TV and stuff. What was it were you doing, and what did your mom do?
So basically, my dance, I I don't remember because I was just 3 years old, and my mom actually, uh, she was observing me. I have a elder sister, so she said she never moved when the music or radio was on, and I used to have some different moments. So she thought that there is something wrong with me, and she took me to the doctor, and she asked. So doctor said no, she have a inclination towards music. So you enroll her for music or dance. And she thought dancing would be the easiest because I was just 3. So she took me and my sister, and the teacher said that she's too young. I can't take her. So she took my elder sister. And then my mom said, "No, let her sit, but let her watch." And I was just watching, observing. And for my teacher's surprise, I started doing what she used to teach my elder sister and the others. And she was impressed. And then she told one day to my mom that I know that she's just little, four and a half, but I have a very big program which is coming 5,000 people, but I want her to dance. I will show you the steps, expressions. You teach her and see how she goes. And I was brilliant. So my teacher was like, oh my God, I mean, this is like a God's gift to her, and she should not stop dancing. So I'm on the stage, I'm on the dancing from age 3. So I have done everything. I have learned Bharatanatyam, by the way, and I have done Visharad in that. Then I have learned a little bit of a Kathak, Odissi, and I was very good in semi-classical Bollywood, and I end up going for many competition, including national level competition, and it was always a winner spirit in me, because if I don't win, I used to feel really crazy. So I was like go getter, and yeah, dancing is still a passion for me. So whenever I talk about dancing, you will see my face changes, my eyes just lights up.
Quite true, quite true. But tell me, while you were doing all this dancing and spending all this time and energy and focus on, doing all these things, preparing for competitions and, performances and all, what was happening on the academic side? Were you struggling with that, or were you okay with it?
No, I was not okay with it. I was actually one of the 1 to 5 rankers, always, and always used to have a distinctions. And that's the reason, my parents said that dancing and acting can't be, your profession. You can't be an actress because that's not a profession according to them, because Indian parents, so it's always like that. And they said that how many people are good in academics, and you are good, you're brilliant, so you should not concentrate on this, so concentrate on your studies. So I took them very seriously. I concentrated like on studies, focused, because I want to make a career. But just imagine, my passion was acting and dancing, and that's how I started understanding that how I can remove time for my passion with the academics. And that actually helped me. I mean, till date, just imagine, I'm looking after my business, I'm doing professionally well, but plus I am actually removing time for my passion. And I think that I started from childhood. I have done acting, theater, and I have done theater till national level. I have worked with very renowned personalities back in Mumbai, Bombay, and I have actually been a part of 2 dance TV reality shows as well in India. So so I mean, I did everything, what you can name it, and I have done it. So it's just like that.
Okay, so when you were growing up, who was the parent that sort of encouraged you, and who was the parent who was like, no, this is not okay, you should not be doing this? So, which of the parents was, supporting you in doing things, and which was the one who was saying, laying down the law, this can't be done, this should not be done, I can't give you permission for this? So, who was the parent?
When you were saying this, I just remember my father because he always used to say this to me. And my mom was super supportive. I mean, literally, if I used to have a competition check, she used to make the clothes ready, makeup, everything should be ready for me. And she just used to say that, okay, you just have to show up there and you know what you have to do. One day, and I'm not kidding, this was when I was in first year of a college. And I was doing a chemistry practical, and somebody told me, "Is like you're here doing chemistry practical. There is a dance competition for the entire college. You didn't know?" I said, "No, I didn't know this." They said, "You have 1 hour. If you can make it, you can take a part." I said, "Okay." I ran home. I told Mama that I need all this. She arranged it. I went there. I performed, and I won gold medal. So, I mean, what I want to say here is she was super supportive, and she knew, if I have to just tell her that, okay, this is the dance form I'm going to do, Mama, and this is what I'm thinking, the song, everything is ready for me. And she was consistent for me to, to be, whether it's a drawing class or dance class or badminton. I used to play badminton. So she was like very consistent, and my father was supportive, but he was always academics. Okay, how many percentage? Okay, this, that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I think he was being a little strict. And wasn't there a time when you were selected, but it meant for you to be going out of the country, and he said
yeah.
no?
Yeah. So yeah, it is very funny. So my teacher actually took me to Hema Malini ji. She's a veteran Bollywood actress, and she have, I mean, she used to have her dancing, ballet dancing troupe. And I got selected for that, and our first, the tour was USA, and I was pretty excited. Like, oh my God! I mean, this is something you can dream for, right? And when I told my father, and he just looked at me and he's like, "No, you're not going to USA. Whatever it is, if it's in Bombay, and if it's not bunking your college and maintaining everything properly, then I will allow you." So I just love the opportunity. But like this, many opportunities, by the way. One art film also, I literally, I mean, I got selected for the audition, and then I was like, okay, you're not supposed to do it.
Okay, so dad had some sort of set ways about what he wanted his daughters to do. And when you were coming to university, did he have some suggestions, and did he want you to study something? And did you follow that, or did you follow your own path?
Should I say this or not? So yeah, my father always wanted to me to be an engineer, and my mom always wanted me to be a doctor. And they always used to say that, oh, okay, you will get there some or the other way. But I thought that, okay, I'm not going to be an actress. I'm not doing anything in dancing and acting. Let me, because I'm an art lover. I'm an artist. I'm a creative person. So anything related to art just mesmerizes me. So I have decided to actually give an aptitude test for architecture, and I just told mom that okay, if I give aptitude and if I get selected, also don't worry, the college will start very early, and by that time my engineering and the medical list will come. So don't worry, and I enrolled myself in architecture college. Convinced Papa to pay the fees, and I said no, no, no. After 6 months, I'm going to leave. But then I continued architecture because I thought that architecture is that's the way where I'm going to express my passion through art. And art is, it's not only, when we say art, it's not only painting. Art is a expression, it's a creativity, and that actually happens to you, whether it's a design, whether it's a music, whether it's a dance. It can be multiple ways to express the art. And the artist, you say that, no, like artist, you cannot hide the artist. If that person is their existence, will you will feel the existence. So yeah, it was one of them. And then I went to architecture, and yeah, I was a little rebel, I can say. I mean, at that age and at that time, it was very bold of me to just decide that okay, I want to do architecture. But now today, they are very proud of me. They are very happy about my decision, and they supported me. Slowly they understood that okay, she agreed to us for whatever, and she did something in academics, so let her do architecture.
Okay, so when did you meet your husband?
Okay.
Hmm?
So yeah, so what happened is, like, we used to work while studying also, and I used to work with many architects and designers, I mean the very renowned places over there. And then one of the one of the leading companies, the chairman actually looked at me, and he said that, Ria, I want to have one-to-one talk with you. And I said, okay. He said, are you sure that you want to be an architect? And I'm looking at his face like, yes, I'm doing architecture. So he said, no, because whenever I see you working, you are so much inclined towards interior spaces. You are super creative. You are very, very organized when it comes to the interior design. So why don't you do that as a major? So I was like, okay. And I didn't take him very seriously. But then slowly, slowly, when I started observing my work, I realized that I'm not interested in having those buildings built for 10 years or 6 years, but I'm more interested in the interiors and how I can combine those two spaces together. It's like a marriage, the outside and inside. And it is such a vast area where I can explore my creativity. I can do so much better. And I then started looking for a job which will be purely a interior design. And for my surprise, I went for literally, and I swear, I just went to try my luck. And that company hired me at that moment. After my interview, they said, what salary expectations you have, and we want to hire you today. And I was like, oh my God. And that's when I said yes. And I saw my husband, who was already there and who was leading one of the, I can say, one of the division. And I looked at him, he looked at me, just smile, and that's it. And then when I joined the company finally, he was my boss. I mean, so called. I used to, report to him. And then he laughs and he says that now I'm his boss, but that's not true. But yeah, but that's how we started understanding each other, and we had such a great connection creatively. We are always designers first and then friends. So wherever we go now, also the first thing when we sit somewhere, we observe where we are. We love the good ambience. We love when people design something very unique, very distinct. We appreciate that, because we as a designer, what we need is appreciation more than money. The appreciation actually keeps us going.
Quite true. So now comes the big question. It's not very often that you see a husband and wife team working together, running a business together, and doing it quite in harmony. So, a lot of times there's always this stress and tension, like, I know better, don't tell me what to do. I'm this, I'm that, you are this, you are that kind of story. And a lot of times there's a lot of stress that comes into the relationship, and then it's reflected in the home as well. So, how have you and your husband managed to maintain that balance?
So that's a really brilliant question, and I would not lie saying that we don't have disagreements, or we don't have arguments. We definitely have arguments, but there is a rule which you can always have, that whatever you discuss about work, it will happen in the office, or it will happen on the project side. Most probably, we try to avoid any talks about work at home. And uh, what happens is, now we know our strengths and weaknesses. So, what are my weaknesses? He's stronger in that area, so he looks after that. And what are my strengths? I look after that. So, in this way, we try to balance even the company works, even how the company should run, and how we are actually looking forward for the future. According to that, and I'm very ambitious, I'm very aggressive when it comes to the business. He's very cool, calm, and he have a very that composed aura. So that really helps, because we are not exactly the same, but we are a bit opposite. So I think these all things will help. And the communication is the key, even for my son. Being a mother, I never shy away saying him that, look, son, I'm doing these things and I'm busy. Today's day was hard for me, and these were the challenges I faced on site. I took him many times on the project site, just to show him around. He is doing time pass whatever he can, but you will be surprised at how much information he have as a designer. We call him junior designer. But he have so much of information. He talked to the workers, he talked to the supervisor, he asked them questions, and he asked them like, which what is this material, how do you use this, can I climb a ladder, can I see what you are doing above the ceiling. So all these things possible because we have given that freedom to our son as well. So what happens is, I always feel that when husband and wife are from the same field, is always good, and it's always communication is the key. When more you're communicating to each other and understanding stuff, it will be good.
Quite true. I agree with that because I have found, whenever you have a husband and a wife team, uh, and more so when they're in the same profession. It's not like the wife is doing something else and the husband is taking care of something else. Both of you in the same profession. So uh, I think the plus point would be that you both understand what are the challenges of the work involved because you're both trained in the same thing. And the other thing is, I find it quite refreshing that your son, who's I'm quite sure is still quite small, is that you actually take him on site and for him to observe and see what is on because a lot of parents don't do that. So, do you feel that this is a sort of a more open-minded way of bringing about awareness in your son, not only about academics but in the real world what mommy and daddy are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm taking him since the time when I was breastfeeding. That time also, I used to take him for all the meetings. And I'll tell you that one good thing happened with him is like he's so much exposed to different nationalities, and he's so social. Like he can go and have a conversation with anyone. He's just 8 years old, but he can talk to a 60-year-old. He can talk to 30-year-old. He can talk to 3-year-old. And this has happened because he was exposed and saw every person talking around him, discussing something. He already thinking of few ideas, and he always share because I have so many ideas and I keep writing on the piece of paper to see which one would be the best for the future or which one I can actually work on. And he also started sharing ideas. I mean, that's how they develop so much because the, my father always used to tell me that okay, with academics you should be street smart also. So whenever you go in the world, you will not struggle. You will not think that, oh my God, now how do I strike a conversation, or how do I do this work? So the key is the more open you are, and the more you should be like a sponge. You should be taking all the good points or understand, learn all the time. The more learning attitude you have, you will go places. Because that actually kept me so much grounded. uh, when I learn from so many people, I learn from you also, Sandy. You know that I'm a big fan of you. And it motivates me so much. It inspires me. Like, okay, if they can do it, why can't I? And that actually, makes me more energetic. And I'm always energetic to do something, looking forward to do many things. Yeah, I mean that's how it is.
Okay, so now tell us a little bit about this dance academy or whatever that you've just started. What is this about?
So I have not started like a physical studio. I had actually started in 2015, but then due to my motherhood, I had to cut down the work. And 361 Touchwood was doing extremely well. So right now, what I have started from 2021 is I'm giving a platform to ladies who are passionate about dancing and who have almost forgotten like they used to dance before on the stage, or maybe some competition, or they have learned some dance form. So those people, those ladies, I want to gather them. I want to give them a platform where they can showcase their talent, enjoy themselves, have fun, and then get back to their passion of dancing. Because when I actually I became mother, I suddenly realized that something was missing. And you go through so many different changes around you, and your body is completely different. So to get back to the shape and do whatever it takes to do, dance actually helped me, and dance actually gave me that courage that no, you can do it. And I think you are the witness because you were one of the mentors for Mrs. India Globe pageant, which I won in 2019. So before 2019, there was such a big hardship which I did to reduce my weight, come back to my I can say shape, come back to my mental state, everything. But dancing helped me. dancing was something, which used to make me smile every day. And it was telling me that, Priya, your body is still flexible. You can do it. Do this more. Have when you do thumka, your your fat should not be seen. So you have to get back to your shape. So literally, I can say to each and every woman that if your passion is music or singing,
Quite
just
true. Actually, talking about being in shape and getting back in shape and all, I remember we were in Bombay, and you were receiving an award, and I was there as well, receiving I think it was the same kind of award, and I remember later on looking at your photographs, and you were chubby, right? And then when you came for Mrs. India Globe, I was quite surprised because you look so shapely. And let's be honest, you were the trained dancer. You knew everything. So being a judge on that, it was a no-brainer that you would win because you were just too perfect. And yeah, there was no comparison. But it's what is important also for people to know is that it just doesn't come by sitting around.
correct.
Okay, it takes hard work, it takes discipline, it takes effort, and it takes a lot of practice to get it right. It's not like, okay, I knew dance before and so I'll just stand up and do something. No, it requires a lot of effort, as you said, focus, and all of that, which is also important in life. And I think one of the reasons why you're able to take on many challenges is because you've trained your mind. In order to do well, you have to go through the process. It just doesn't happen overnight. So, do you think that what my assessment of you is correct?
Yeah, it's absolutely. Even in business, without a business plan, without doing a market research and understanding what business you are doing, without even thinking that whether you have a income or for the rainy days and have a budget already, assigned for this business, you cannot just jump into that. And you should have a vision for next 5 years. Write it down. See your vision where you have to reach, and according to that, you should plan. It can't be just overnight. Everything is a practice. Everything is it's a constant effort. And I would always say people that don't look at the social media of somebody and see that, oh, she's always winning something or she's always getting recognized, but see the amount of efforts and amount of I can say sacrifices that person is doing to be number one, to be there on the top. And that can be a habit for somebody. That's why they are being always constantly working towards some or the other thing. So when you appreciate that kind of a person and when you are around that kind of a person, you also get that positive energy, and you can also do much more rather than just talking about, like, okay, oh, I don't like that person because that person is successful. That is not the right thing to do. In fact, go around that person, try to understand if that is successful, then there is some mantra for that, and there is so much of a dedication. And this is what I would like to tell people, that whenever you want to do something new in life, do not wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. It is
That's
like today, you have to take the action, you have to start working towards it, and see your brain, your muscles, your body, everybody wants to be there with you in that journey and see that you are succeeding.
quite true. Okay, so in closing, Priya, I would like you to please share with our viewers number one, the home relationship, because you and your husband both are professionals, both of you are in business, and you also have a child. And sometimes people, women especially, find it very overwhelming to be able to balance all of that. So, what would your advice be to women who are mothers and also are working with or without the husband being in the same business? But in your case, because it's the same business, that's why I asked you. So, working together running a business together and bringing up a family, bringing up your child together. What are the pointers that you can share with our viewers on how they could do this and be happy, relaxed, and successful?
So first of all, stop judging yourself, be friendly, start loving yourself. Your me time actually gives you a lot of liberty to love yourself, to appreciate yourself. And when you start doing that for yourself, it is automatically you're doing for your family, your husband, your kid. And when you're working together as husband and wife, do not forget to give space, you as an individual for your passion and he as an individual for his passion. You can't be combining everything together always, family or business. So that space, if you start giving and respect, and appreciate for what he has achieved or you have achieved, that actually helps so much because that's how you grow. And being friends is help, I mean, that's a one thing which can help in your relationship, whether it's a mother and child, husband and wife, or it can be any relationship. But being friendly and being more open communication, then I think nothing is impossible. I always feel that the personal passion, which we always try to hide, it can be anything. To be honest, do that because that actually gives you a lot of energy. What you are doing professionally, because not everybody is having passion and profession together. And if somebody is telling you that has to be together, I don't think so because I'm a live example. I love designing. I work as an interior designer, and I'm very proud to say that. But my passion is definitely dancing and acting, and there is no shying away. I'm doing extremely well when I act. I'm excellent when I'm dancing, and I know that. And this is not an overconfident. This is a confidence which I have developed because I practice every day till date. I mean, from age 3 to now, whatever age I am, I still practice, I still learn. I try to develop myself, I try to attend workshop. I see people who are in the same industry, and the more you learn, the more knowledge you have, the better person you will be.
Wonderful, Priya. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's simple, straightforward, and absolutely doable. So, thank you very much for that and for being my guest today. It was lovely to have you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
So there you have it. Priya, with the P, who is a professional, who is a perfectionist, who does perseverance, who has a lot of perspiration because she does a lot of practice. And she is a lady who is full of energy. She doesn't have time to look at other things that are not going well because she is so involved in doing things that are doing well. I think one of the important things she mentioned was social media. Yes, yes, social media. Don't get carried away with all the lovely pictures with what's it called, a trophy or a crown or something. There's a lot of hard work that goes on behind that, and Priya is a very good example of that. She's also been able to share with us that relationships do matter, and you can have a perfectly harmonious relationship with your spouse, your children, but you have to work towards it. You have to be open minded. You have to respect the other person's opinions, the other person's likes and dislikes. And very important, what I loved was the fact that she keeps her child involved. As the husband and wife, they are keeping the little one involved. They're all a team. So I think that on that lovely note, remember, you can be a team, you can achieve a lot more of happiness and balance in your life. And before I leave, of course, you have to remember to like us on, should I say Facebook? Yes, Facebook, of course, LinkedIn, and most important, on the Celestia YouTube channel. We love you and we appreciate your support. Please do subscribe, leave us a comment. It makes us feel really good. And all our guests also do appreciate it. So, on that happy note, once again, bye for now. Take care. God bless.